So today is the 90th birthday of one of my favorite filmmakers and one of the greatest filmmakers of all time. That is the one and only Agnes Varda. I've seen about half of her films. She's made quite a few films, several of which are hard to find. So I've seen the ones that are available, and there's a couple that are available I need to just find again. But basically, I've seen about half of her filmography, is what I'm trying to say. It's her birthday. And I discovered a couple of days ago that her latest film, Faces Places, or in the original French, Visages, is on Netflix. Now, I wanted to see this movie in theaters, believe you me. It did not play in Atlanta. It did not play in Atlanta. It played in all kinds of college cities all over the United States. It did not play in Atlanta, so I did not get to see it. I was really bummed about that. I really would have loved to have seen this on the big screen. It was such a delightful film. And what it grabbed me from the very beginning, they started fundraising for this film via crowdsourcing. And at the very beginning of the film, they list the people who donated to that crowdsource. Generally, when a film is crowdsourced, you get that in the end credits as almost an afterthought. And it was so lovely to see the film start by thanking the people that helped them kickstart the funding. Um, Delightful and so very Varda and so very the spirit of this film, which is, as it sounds, about faces and places. Varda was 88, I believe, when she started filming this, and JR, her co-director, was 33, and they were fans of each other's art and met through a mutual friend, and the next thing you know, they made this documentary, and it is so delightful. They basically travel around France creating these giant faces of people and goats and other things, and they plaster them on walls and ruins and barns and all kinds of things, and then talk with the people and learn about the places. And it's just lovely, and it's filled with Varda's signature humor and humanism. JR is so inquisitive about her and about people, and he brings out the best of her, and I feel like she probably brings out the best of him. And it's just so much fun to watch them wandering around making art and disagreeing and then making up and then being happy and sad. And it ends on a beautiful note for them and an interesting, I feel, note for cinema in the history of who's regarded as like the great French filmmaker. I'll let you discover that for yourself. I particularly liked the way in which Varda, she's such a strident feminist, and you see it in her films, and you see it in this film in so many different ways. But there's a moment where they go to Le Havre. I just totally butchered that. The oh my god, the where all the tanker ships come in with the docks, shipping, whatever. And she's not entirely convinced that this is like right for the project, and she's like, there's all men here, like what the heck. So she meets the wives of the dock workers, who some of which are also dock workers. One of them is this badass truck driver, and she inserts them into this world of men, and it's so Varda, it's amazing. There's another moment where they meet a man who has never had a job, and now he's retired and gets the minimum pension, and he spends his days making art and things out of people's soda caps. And it's such a beautiful callback to both her Uncle Yanko, like his house looked very much like Uncle Yanko, but also the way in which the main character in Vagabond lives. It was a really great callback to her early work. And most of Faces Places really is so similar in its aesthetic to Murmur, which is her film about the from the late 70s. Came out in the 80s, but it's about the late 70s mural art in Los Angeles. If you have not seen that one, check that out. I think that this film is richer the more familiar you are with Varda's filmography, but I also think that if you're not familiar with her filmography and you watch this and then go back and watch her films, you'll see a lot of callbacks to her entire body of work. showcased in this lovely documentary. Last year, Varda received the honorary Oscar, and this year she was nominated. She became the oldest person to be nominated for a competitive Academy Award, beating James Ivory by a whopping 8 days, because he's about to turn 90 as well, for this documentary. However, she did not win, but Ivory did, so now he's the oldest competitive Oscar winner. Some trivia for you. I just love Varda so much, and she's so spry and has so much energy, and I can't even believe that she's 90. It just boggles my mind. I love her. I love her love of cats. There's so many cats in this movie. Varda and cats, and just so many lovely moments that are just so, it's just so her. I love her. So I wish I'd gotten to see this in theaters. This would have been in my top favorite films of the year if I had. And I knew it, and that's why I was so mad that it didn't play anywhere near here. Like, what were you thinking? It's not Varda's fault. It's the distributor's fault. But I loved this film. It's on DVD if you don't have Netflix, so you can watch it any number of ways. You should definitely watch it. It will bring sunshine and joy into your life. This was Faces, Places, aka Visages, by Agns Varda and JR. It is a ray of sunshine.